You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 95 for September 2022. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, well, actually, I know how it's going. We just talked for a little bit.
Or as I like to call it, Alan is moving cast.
Yeah, or therapy.
House buying.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it's progressing, right? And the average story is going to be for even the next few weeks is cleaning, packing, just dealing with, a decade plus of, of time living here and projects and things that I just never, resolved overall. And then thinking about what I have to get to be able to move in, and that mostly right now is light bulbs and appliances, and the
Buy
timing
stuff
on
from
all those
IKEA.
things. Yeah, eventually, and then once I sort of move my shit in, and I'm in that position I could do that, then it will be mostly just conversation of unpacking, figuring out, and then the settling in of stuff, right?
So. This reminds me, there's not going to be an episode next month, so this is going to be September, and then we're going to straight into November, because during the month of October there is some moving afoot, and
yeah, for me at least,
recording is going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to sort of do everything in advance.
Yeah, it's just taking the complication of this weird thingy going on at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just take it out.
Yeah, and that will be a lot of.
We haven't done a vacation month this year, so we done that last year as well. So
yeah, so this is always the tough part is, will I start? I mean, at that point on that Friday, I can start taking stuff that I can drive over in my car over into the house after I do the settlement. I literally can just start dragging stuff in on my own that isn't like big furniture and stuff like that, where I would need the assistance of my father and his box truck. But until I start, I mean, I can take some of this gear, but these tables and stuff, I don't know how much of that. Well, maybe some of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
maybe not
fit
in my
your
car.
Model 3. We moved with the office last month, and in August, and there was so much junk that fit inside my boss's car because he has a Model 3. It's like it's about 3 foot wide at its narrowest in the back half. You can slide your tables and stuff. All that stuff will fit inside of the car. The only thing that didn't fit was the table, the kitchen table that we have. It was a little bit too big for that.
Probably too wide.
Yeah.
I've pulled down the seats down so where it's just level, but actually I can even pull up the actual seats and then pull down the back seats and then even have even more space there. I've never done that, and I don't know, we'll see. Anytime in the past where I've gone somewhere where I needed to drag lots of C-stands, they're just too long, and even on the diagonal, they just are like a half an inch too tall. So in that case, I've only taken one seat down. I've never taken both seats down. So probably I see these are like 3 tables. These are shorter tables. I could probably fold those up, put those in my Model 3 and take those over.
Yeah. I suggest you get some like folding tables, like camping tables. I cannot stress how useful the little camping table I put at the office for a couple of weeks was, because you need some place to stash stuff and work on things, and maybe take something apart to reassemble it, right, or figure out some electronic stuff. It's going to come in handy.
That will be the sort of moving effort with my father probably on that weekend or the corresponding weekend or so. So after I sort of have the keys, I can start moving crap in. And then I can kind of do a lot of the supplemental on my own. I don't necessarily need my father in his truck yet. But these tables are folding tables. I wanted a lot of desk space for this scenario, but I didn't do it expensively. I didn't go to IKEA or anything, and IKEA doesn't have things are high enough or whatever. These are folding tables. These are sort of like the corporate buffet picnic tables or whatever. And so some of that I can, like I said, I can disassemble and do on my own, um, without the need of an official moving day, and then go from there. Um, so I'll when I get closer to that moment, I'll start coordinating that stuff.
Well,
So,
and as soon as you got like stuff boxed up, you can move those boxes with your car as well.
hmm yeah, that's what I was just talking about. And I pack my clothes. Basically, I'm living out a certain amount of clothes. Everything else, I got these heavy duty. Um, they're these heavy duty bags. They're kind of like material that tarps are made out of, but they're in these big, humongous, sort of square duffel bags,
Mm.
and they're meant for like long term storage when we want to keep stuff dry and stuff like that. And I've seen people put in, um, might be how they store maybe clothing or foods or something like that. They put containers inside it and then they leave that stuff in their basement. Um, so I bought some of those, and I haven't gone through all of them, and I filled the bulk of my clothes in it, and then I donated a lot of it away already. And I think I'm through the thick of that. It's just a matter of those are things I can put in my car and move. So
Yeah.
until I have a place to move them to, they just sit there, right in my bedroom. So just sort of stacked up on top of each other. So that this is going to be my boring life conversation for a little bit, probably throughout the rest of the year. Maybe not so much in December. So uh, it'll be interesting. I have to at least get to some settling point with the studio and my office setup because I'm still going to need to be able to do things and exist. So that will probably be like my Friday night or my Saturday night or something. Me setting that up and yeah, that will probably be what I'm doing, getting that sort of settled and sorted out, so I can function. And then,
How long do you expect the migration to take?
I mean, the last time I did it, I did the initial one, basically in one weekend, and then I did it, sort of in succession over a course of a few days. So I plan on paying for rent here for the month of October, so at least I have the opportunity for any small things or the final big junking efforts. Right, leave that. I'm not doing it while I'm beforehand. I do it sort of after I've done the settlement. So.
Mm.
But it's really just fundamentally on me. So anyhow, those conversations are going to be boring. That is all I'm going to be reflecting on for a little bit. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How are you gonna handle the recordings of podcasts besides this one? Because we know how we're gonna handle this one, but
Make an effort. So for like this Otaku's life, I have a whole bunch of ideas. I can just record a bunch of stuff in advance. So as I get towards October, I'm going to need at least. So I'm going to want,
do you,
for those 2 weeks plus probably if I can get to figure out how to get to 4 before I'll start tearing down this studio minus this immediate need right here in the corner.
do you have like a portable set or something like that?
I do. I'm not planning on using it for that. I mean, I could do that. Could set it up that way.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. But I wasn't planning on doing it that way. Like I said, the moment that I start tearing shit down, might be, you know, if I'm that far up in queue, for OG, we're going to record a couple things. We just haven't, we started the conversation, but we haven't really formulated a plan yet.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, all the new season shows are coming out exactly in the middle of all of that. So there's only so much you can do, and the timing on those things is they'll literally drop on Friday. Then we'll gather them, and then we'll start watching them, Saturday, Sunday to talk about them on Sunday. So I won't be in that immediate setup. I can't imagine. So I need to give myself some breathing room on them.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think you've got the space for that. You've been putting out podcasts every week for
Hmm.
fuck knows how long.
Oh, ooh. So today is Sunday when we're recording.
Mm-hmm.
So today we'll be recording show number 900 for OG. So
There's
yeah,
I think this is 5 years of Polymatic.
yeah. We haven't been consistent,
No, but
right?
it's been
We've
five
skipped some
years since
stuff.
we started this, so
Okay. So I mean, that's pretty good run. Uh,
we're nearing
you
episode 100.
can't say that about most shows. I saw some video. I don't know how accurate it was, where they were saying that most podcasts, um, all the enthusiasm and effort runs out within typically 9 episodes, and those, you know, who stay persistent are it like in the 1%.
Mm. Well, we're
So I'm
nearing
probably the
episode
1%
100,
of the
so
1%. I well, not
remember
Occupy
how we
Wall Street,
used
but
to or record every 2 weeks? I
what
don't even want to think
you and
about
I,
recording every 2 weeks.
yeah. I mean, we used to be a little more aggressive on trying to develop new shows with friends, and I mean it goes back to that sort of stat that I was just sort of quoting from somebody. I don't know how accurate it was, where there's a lot of enthusiasm for the idea, and then people are like, "Wait, I actually have to do work. Wait. I can't just snap my fingers and and have lots of attention and people bow at my feet. What you mean? I actually have to do work? No, I can't do that." And that's where all projects stop,
Mm.
right? And that's the same thing that goes for a lot of things. I
Well,
mean,
for this thing, you don't
ages
have
have
to.
nothing to do with it. The attitude is always the same, right? What do you mean I have to actually do work?
Well, for this, all you have to be is show up, and
Hmm.
right, which is
Right, that's how
also
we
one
set
of
this
the
up.
conditions. I don't think you've ever edited any of this, right?
You won't let me.
I won't let you. Yeah, you got enough to do, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Way too
But
much.
when I get to a certain part of my day, like some part of me is like mad at myself because I'm not coming down here and spending 9 hours cleaning everything up. There becomes a certain point where I worked nearly 10 hours, 11 hours in my workday. And it isn't like me just sitting around twiddling my thumbs waiting for something to happen. Like I'm doing stuff, and then I just need to be of a sufficient window kind of around or past when my people that work under me directly, so I could be accessible in case they need something. Um, and so I fill that time pretty much. I barely take lunch or whatever. So the point is that I have sort of extended a lot of my energy for the day, and I get home. At most, I have little energy to go eat, put something together, take some meds, and maybe watch something to kind of slow my brain down to a point where I can go to sleep. And that's me just playing like Battletopia or just some basic game or something like that. And so some part of me is like, but Alan, you can go downstairs and you can start working on this. And you can start tearing this down. And for 12 years, I've not had that conversation aggressive enough for me to actually do things, which is part of my large problem here now. So I have been sort of yelling at myself internally. I had that moment where my body's like, go take a nap, go to bed tonight, make it easier. And then I ate some food, and I was like, all right, get over yourself. And I came down here and I spent 3 hours working on stuff. So like I'm constantly fighting with the laziness in my, and then my body was
Okay.
like really pushing harder me to find reasons not to. And I'm like, get over yourself, dude. This is the exact problem of why you have 12 years of an issue you have to address.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away unless you fix it. So get over yourself. You have to fix it.
So
So,
yesterday, I was working on, and this brings me to the point for the next topic that I have on my list here. But yesterday, I was working on things for my book, and I
Mm-hmm.
clean up some pages that were in there already and they weren't. I hadn't linked the right files yet, and I clean all that stuff up and I went through everything. By the end of that, I was like, oh, I really don't want to do anything. Today's Sunday, by the way. Yesterday was Saturday. So I was like, okay, I have the day off. I don't really have to do anything. But I took I'm taking Monday off, so I'm like, okay, but then I can, so I can work on some more artwork tomorrow and on Monday. But then again, Sunday is going to be largely taken up in the evening by this recording, and then, but then last night I was like, okay, actually not last night, yesterday morning, right? So I did a stream earlier that day. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then I spent some time, like 2 hours. I spent 2 hours cleaning up stuff for the book, and then putting the commissions in there and linking some of the new artwork files and reorganizing some stuff. And then by the end of I was like, oh, I feel so tired. I want to just go take a nap, or just I've been up since 6 that morning, right? So I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can take a break now. But I know myself, and I know that as soon as I do that, I'm gonna be in my bed, uh, taking a nap, and then waking up at 7 p.m. and maybe or 8 p.m. or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, and just the day is gone, and I feel like crap because I've been sleeping for 4 hours, and it's not a good sleep, right? So I was like, oh, okay, I gotta do some other stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
just I just got over myself and grabbed some coffee and sat down and started drawing, working on some drawings, just doing basic stuff like cleaning up lines, cleaning up stuff, just not the like focusing hard on finishing things, like making a picture finished, but like cleaning up lines, cleaning up some of the flat colors, doing background stuff. And the more I worked on something, then I picked one of the drawings. And by the time I realized I had picked one of the drawings, I was finishing it up, and it was like 8:30 p.m. And I was like, okay, I forgot to stream this. Then I realized how much time and effort goes into streaming, even though there's like maybe 2 or 3 people that show up in my streams anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, uh, maybe I shouldn't be streaming all of this stuff because it kind of tires me out. So I'm like, streaming for 2 hours, and then I don't know if I want to continue. Like, it's if I start streaming, it's usually at around 8 p.m. So I stream for 2 3 hours, so it's like close to 11 p.m. Then I have to go sleep because the next morning I have to get up early and I have to go to work. Blah blah. Now I don't have to do that because Monday is the day off for me because I took the day off. And it's like, yeah, I should do this more often where I just go sit down and do cleanup work. But really, I'm tricking my brain into actually finishing stuff. So in the last couple of days, I finished like 3 drawings. And it's like I've been working on these things for months now, and I've done like flat shading, but and I did some shading on like actual shadows and lighting and stuff like that. And I'm like, this doesn't look good. Maybe I didn't put enough effort into this, so I just go clean it up. And then by the time I've completed it, I've already done like a bunch of other stuff that I needed to do on it anyway. I realized, oh, it's finally starting to look good again. Because usually there's like a phase for my artwork to go from I have a sketch and then I'm like really happy with the sketch. It looks really good, at least in sketch form. I'm like, I can see the potential in this. And then there is a phase of me adding lines, like the hard lines on it, and the flat colors. And I'm like, this looks really bad. It's like, but usually when I tell myself it looks really bad, that's when the picture actually turns out really well. Because for some reason I compensate for that, and then during the actual finishing of the picture, then I start to compensate for that. And I really think I should do less streaming of artwork because for some reason that messes up my flow. I think. Anyway, with that, there's lots of book stress for me because I figured out that I have I have 34 images left to finish. I have 19 done for this year, and this is like last year. It's 15 total, and I've already done 19 this year, and I have like 14 of the 34 already on the flat shading and the shading basic shading stuff done, and it's still a lot of work. There's like at least 20 pictures that are just sketches that need to be finished into full images. And then I still have some stories to write as well because I've got the outlines for them, but I don't have any actual words on paper. I have some key points that I want to hit on, and yeah, there's a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, oh, maybe what I should do is just extend it for one more year, like do it in 2024, right? But then again I said to all the commission people that, oh yeah, I'm gonna publish it in January, so I need to make the January cut.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how much more motivated we are to be responsible when we're being responsible to others. When it's on us, we can do that tomorrow. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I'll be very busy. I won't be. I'll do it next week, right? And it's just always another thing where you, I don't say procrastinate, but you give yourself breathing room. Um, just like a short moment. So when I was like in my, I guess before I was in my 20s, uh, always sort of had this have to do it, you have to follow through. Because this was sort of a quality where my father sort of, oh, you give him 50 years, he'll follow through. But, you give him a year and he might not follow through. He had so many projects in motion all the time, and it was just sort of ad hoc everything he was doing all the time. And that's still very true. Uh, and so I guess as a kid, I sort of developed this. No, if I gotta follow through. Because I know me, I won't follow through if I just, forget about it. It'll be out of sight, out of mind. And my stepmother had sort of had this thing about herself where she's like, every once in a while, it's okay for you to treat yourself. And then I would start to treat myself a little too much. And then I know that my procrastination and my laziness sort of all sort of stack on top of that. And then sort of now I'm in this form where, as I was just mentioning, where I was like, yeah, I'll give you like 1% of that. And then once you feel satisfied, I'm moving on to what I should have been doing the whole time.
Mm.
And I need some kind of direct motivator that has time limits sometimes. I'm very responsible when I'm at work, but when it's given an opportunity to do it myself, I feel like I need to treat myself. But on a daily basis, I think that's kind of BS for me, at least. So, no, that's just sort of how I've been handling it. And like, I totally get, you have projects that you want to work on, and you have a lot of. But when you're responsible for others, that's your quick motivator to get out of your BS.
Yeah, I think maybe because of the because I set this goal for myself, and um like it's
So
also a
don't think
lot
of
of
it
work for
like
me, right? So it's
think of it like this. You didn't set the goal for yourself. You set the goal for them. The people that, have the people that have given you money. Commissions is what you were just saying a moment ago.
yeah, but I
Whatever the equivalent
commission
of,
them.
oh, you commission them. Oh, okay.
It's the
So
other
they
way
owe you.
around.
They owe you. So,
No,
all
but
right.
like I'm hoping that they would give me a boost, a little bit boost of when I publish the
Mm-hmm.
book, which is going to be.
I mean, that was the same thing I was telling you about the posters that I created for to give to people. I mean, I said to Wakashi, I said, if you give me stuff, I'm gonna make shit. It's like, you're just giving me an excuse to do things.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, so. when I have stuff to do, I will work on projects. I'll follow through, get them done. I was like, I'm gonna make some posters, and I did. So you know, but here's the question for you, and maybe this is just sort of rhetorical, but as a thought process, um, with regard to your book, who are you accountable to?
Before
And
I
the answer cannot be yourself.
answer you that, there is a pigeon making ooh ooh ooh, ooh sounds on the. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can
I can
hear
hear
it.
that. Yeah, I can hear it.
It's just stupid.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so you're accountable to the pigeon? Is that what you're telling
Accountable to
me?
the pigeon. The pigeon is here to control my life. Yes.
Yeah.
No. So for this, I don't know. I
So
just did it.
fine.
I just did it because the because I said I was gonna do it. So I have to
I
follow
mean,
through.
is it you're accountable to your pride? Are you accountable? Where I'm trying to get here is there something external that can hold you accountable? That is not something that um,
Nope.
you have complete. Well, you always have complete agency when you set your own goals, and you set your own objectives. But something that holds you to be accountable to follow through, even when all your impulses are, you know, go Netflix and chill for 10 hours, go
Well, I normally don't
marathon
do
a
that
show.
anyway. So, but the problem
Right.
is like the going and taking a nap or something like that. Like the energy that I spent that morning already on doing some stuff. Yeah, it kind of tires you out. But then as soon as I like got into a flow of like, oh, I can finish this drawing today. Oh, wonderful. Like then I realized that you know, I could have done that more in the last couple of weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it's just the uh, focusing on getting these things done. Um, it's like I want to accomplish this because I set
Mm-hmm.
myself out to do this, and I want to be able to say, okay, I've done it a third time. It's now I'm good for a while, and I'll still like keep the same um, process because I've learned that the process that I've been using the last couple of years, last 2 years, is really good for like eventually putting up a book. Um, but I will severely reduce the amount of um, the quantity of everything. So the quality will remain the same or better, but the quantity will go down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because there's just so many of them that I need to finish. That's just yeah. I know the problem is like for every drawing I do, there's like 18 different versions of it. Like there's just yeah. It's like a dress up doll basically. It comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those old games, web games where you can click together all the versions
Oh
of it.
yeah. What do they call them? Kiss? Is that what it was
I
called?
think I think that's the name of some of the software I think for that.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you're taking me back. That's been a while. That's a reference from a long ago. I assume those. I would assume that's still popular. Um, I get it. Also, people who are into figurines or like to design figurines, they love being able to build their character and style them up as oh, what if I did them like this or I did them like that, and people that get into to drawing or whatever it is, and you see this all the time where some part of it I think is innocent, and the enthusiasm is honest. And then obviously there's some degree where it's like it's a machine, but it's like, what if I take this exact show idea, but then I swap out this and I give this person red hair and that one green hair and this one completely glowing yellow hair. And instead of them all playing volleyball, they play miniature golf as a club. And this is what they do to anime today. And so some part of this is like you can see the adventure of the author and you can see the adventure of the people that draw. but then you can also see where they're like, we made a lot of money doing this. Why don't we change six things and then we will call it this? And you see this a lot when you review a lot of anime. And but I also get the artist side of it where they're like, what if my character was wearing this outfit and had ponytails? And yeah, like I get there is some enthusiasm and fun in that.
So what I've been,
Um,
so what I've been doing in the last couple of years for Halloween, I've been doing like different outfits for like one
mm-hmm,
of my characters, and then uh, do like 10 different outfits. Like, and
mm-hmm.
parts of the outfit can be used in different variants. So I think like last year I had like 50 different variants. It's just insane.
Yeah.
And then I'm exporting all of them into like PNGs and putting them on Gumroad, so that
Mm-hmm.
the people get a nice. But then I still have to pick which version I'm going to put in the book.
Oh, that's the tough part. Do you consult anybody? They
What I should
like
just
this
do
or
is
that?
just make every single put every single variant of every single picture into one book, and like I have a 500-page book.
Oh yeah, you could maybe, maybe
That sounds
the
like
B sides.
a pain in the butt.
I mean, that's what artists did. They needed filler stuff, so when they had alternative versions, or they were like, let's do this acoustic, no, let's do this production. That's what the B sides records were for on singles. They
Mm-hmm.
were things they were not intending to release in the main album, and they would put them as filler items. And then sometimes that's what your audience likes the best.
Mm.
So,
So
so you
what I've
in
been
this.
doing is I've been putting the left page is the all the alternative versions, and then the right side is um, the the canonical version, or the one I like the best, or like
Mm-hmm,
the one I pick for the set. So I have like four versions on the left side, and then one version on the right side. And I usually work in portrait anyway, so
mm-hmm,
it's easier. But for landscape, it's a little bit harder because then I have to, you know, decide more clearly because I have A3 um, drawings. So there's A4, which is the size for a piece of white paper, like from a printer paper size
mm-hmm,
ish. In the U.S., it's slightly thinner in the U.S., but like in the Netherlands, we use A4, and then there's
mm-hmm.
A3, which is like double A4.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so you can see that as like 2 pages, and then right. So
Ah,
I
got it.
have some drawings that are in A3, and then I'm trying to already like take care of that. The character will stay on one side of the page, and then there's some more environment stuff on the other side, so I can put a little story there. And I've been working on that. I have like four of those types of things. But then I also want to do like variants of those. And I'm like, should I like maybe do this version and then do two more sets, like 3 pages, 3 sets of pages with the same drawing? Like I could put like maybe put more story in there. It's just all those decisions and stuff. They're like super draining.
Mm-hmm. I had a thought from, I guess, my rhetorical question. So this last book you had sold a bunch, right? More than, would you say, more than you had historically?
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be the imaginary audience for you that you would say, um, I guess, potentially is who you hold yourself responsible to?
No.
Is that because you don't do it for them, you do it for yourself?
Yep. I do it for
Okay.
myself. And I one of the things that I was concerned about in the last couple of times is that because I put them up on a local printer's website, which I'm going to do this time as well. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
also going to print a bunch of them through a different printer and sell them
Mm-hmm.
on my Gumroad, because
Mm-hmm.
selling them through Gumroad has delivered a little more sales than through them. because the price that I can put on my Gumroad is much lower than I can put on that printer site. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, I can sell my book for 15 euros, 15, right? And I would still make a sort of a profit on it, right? I still have to pay shipping on it, but then it's 15 plus like 15 for something in Europe and maybe 25 for something in the US. So shipping it to the US is more expensive, way more expensive. Um, but like I'm aiming towards sort of a price of around 30 to 40 euros for the book. I'm going to do a hardcover book only. I'm not going to do a soft cover anymore. I'm just going to do a hardcover. And um, yeah, that's they're a little bit more expensive to pay for ahead of time. But if I buy like 100, then I can get to a pretty good price that I would still make some money actually on it. Because in the last book,
Mm-hmm.
I'm negative still on that. Like for buying the copies and like I send a lot of copies to the commission artists, and I'm not going to do that this time because there's like it's a lot of money that I have to spend on it that I don't really have to. I'll send them a digital copy. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
prefer anyway.
Right.
The
I
digital
I
copy on Gumroad sold very well. It also
I
ended
have
up
no
on a pirate website, so
right.
yay.
I have no idea what to do about merchandise, and like I said, I'm despite the numbers, I am very convinced that no one cares. So while I make things and you comment on it, and that's really just for like friends of the show and just people that have helped contribute over the course of 17 years, and then remain to have connection with. And now obviously the people that do the direct contribution, like the cast. So, I do it for those reasons. It's good to have stuff. Having an excuse to make stuff is a good excuse. That's I don't think of it as a side project, but sometimes it is. For me, it's just a very little amount of my time, and I so actively do it for the car club. Um, that by itself, the expense of that comes back to me at some point at the end of the year. Where when I do it for the podcast related stuff, I just do it because I've built up uh, an understanding of places where I can get keychains made or get water bottles made or whatever it is, and it's
Mhm.
just really putting money out. Um, and so I like doing it because it's just general celebration of a thing that we do. Um, but have you thought about making stickers or maybe some shirts or something in places that might do on demand? Any of that? Do you know what
I don't want to do
is
shirts because that's not going to sell. It's just not.
right? It's not maybe appropriate wears
No, but
floating
like
around.
I have prints. People can buy prints.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so prints.
I
Um,
can do them on
I mean,
demand
are
because I saw another artist doing. I went to Austria to visit
mm-hmm.
an artist's exhibition, and he was doing prints, and I was like, yeah, it might be a good idea, but like pre-ordering all the prints and then shipping those out. I'd have to imagine what somebody would like from my prints, which version of that picture. So
Yeah, I guess
what I
that's the
did
hard
is I
part.
just solved it by making some code that makes a giant page full of all the versions, and
Oh
you
yeah,
click the
yeah.
version and you buy that version. So it's print on
Got it.
demand, printed at my place. And I
Right.
just ship out the print.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like an entire rack full of envelopes, A3 envelopes, A3 printing paper for photo
Mm-hmm.
paper, photo printer, tubes, extra cardboard to make it sturdy to ship. So that's why I was saying I should make some OG artwork and ship it to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, there are, and again, I do sort of like low quantity on demand stuff. So, and I, again, for the car club. And so I found one place and, I've heard some stuff like maybe the owner isn't maybe the nicest person in the world, but they do these deals where, um, they're literally like for the cost at cost. and they want to encourage you to try it and then buy like the normal quantity. And even then, those prices are still pretty good. So I did, just out of curiosity, like one of those deals, and it cost me $19, and it's a little bit for shipping. Normally it'd be probably 50, $60 or something, but I got 10 keychains made, and I just did the OGN logo. And I thought they were gonna put this big old square, and then when the proof came back, I'm like, oh, that, that's good. I like that. And it cost me all of under $30 to sort of try it out. Now that being said, am I gonna sell those things? No, I'm gonna give them away just like I give other things away. That's it. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm.
Just like the posters, it's just sort of to celebrate, kind of things that we do. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was never, and I totally get it. If I was to do the merch, do shirts, I don't believe that I could have high sales, so I don't do it. Right? I see the numbers, but I don't do it because I don't believe anyone's going to spend actual money for us
Mm.
because our whole situation is premised on free.
I,
Right? And there's a mentality for people that like, if it's free, I love it. If I have to pay for it, forget it. Right? And
well,
that's
I
a
think you're
that's a
missing
pretty
the
systemic
support.
attitude.
I think you're missing the support angle. So there's people like me who go out to artists' websites. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, this morning I bought a couple of prints from an artist in LA. Um, you should check her out, by the way. Her name is Skirts,
Mm. Okay.
and she has these prints on her website. She did a really cool one from Horizon Zero Dawn,
Hmm.
and I didn't get that one. I'm kind of hoping for her to show that, put that one on her site. It would be nice. But I spent $80 on like getting some prints, and I do that more than I would than my bills uh, should let me. But yeah, I like to support people when it comes to like artistic stuff and things,
Mm-hmm.
and like
And
buying
I
this stuff. There's a bunch of people out there that do this. Um, like I know from some of the people that look at my stuff, there's people that buy my sets every time I put one out. And that's
mm-hmm.
really nice. And sometimes they come in and they buy like my entire shop. That happens too. And buying the paperback of my last book, and then also buying the hardcover for the same thing. And like, why are you buying two? And there's just people that like to support people making things,
Mm-hmm.
and there's that. And I think that people wanting to support you and your podcasts, I think you might put something up on your Patreon, like maybe put in um like a supporter tier or whatever, like
And I do.
where you actually
I
get
have
like uh things like, for
or get
example, a
something.
water bottle or keychain or whatever every once in a
Mm-hmm.
while.
I have like I set the prices I think pretty low. I think it's like 1, 5, and maybe $10 or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And you know the boat there's I don't know if there's anyone at $1. I think everyone's at 5. But even then, I mean, it's not a significant amount to pay for anything. And I appreciate that people are doing it, and certainly during the holiday, I have spent more money than I've gotten income from them to go send them like a couple of those individuals. I'm like, I'm getting stuff for the cast gift, and I got enough for you guys. So send me your address, and some of them send me back, really late, and I ship them a thing, and I spent more money than I'm taking in, but again, it's to celebrate a thing and the support of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I had an opportunity for that to be where it sort of equates itself, I would. I do this sort of supporting thing where I'm really down to one creator that I support. Um, and I get something for it, but I also appreciate the effort that this individual is doing, and I want them to have an opportunity to be successful. So that's why I give them money. And then I do it for a couple streamers. I have some subs, right? Just a couple, not a lot. Nothing that's going to cost me a significant amount of money
Yeah.
out of pocket. Because I have to, I used to do that more aggressively, and I had to roll that back because I was like, I need to save to buy a house. And you think like, oh, it's not a big deal, but then like if I don't do Netflix, I get maybe nearly $200 back a year. Now you think, well, that's not a lot. That you can't change the world on that. But then multiply that by two or three other things, and that could be nearly $1,000,
Yep.
right? And I'm now paying for. I switched up my cell plan to unlimited, to the family plan, and um, and so as a result of it, I I would say that I'm benefiting from going to unlimited for myself, but now I'm paying for my mother. My mother's not really utilizing that, but it's doubling my cost now. And that right there is nearly $1,000 a year for the
Wow.
two of us.
Wow.
And because that's just like, whew. And again, it's just these like, were you just seeing the like, oh, it's only $5 a month, right? But when you multiply 10 of those things that you have in your life, if you could just eradicate those, that's still some money back. So if I said 5 times 5, $25 times 12, right? And then you go, oh, that's more money. And then you don't realize how many of those things you might have because you're giving money away. I'd rather put that to a person where at least I know where it's going, and be supportive.
Mm.
And I do it in small ways. And they're like, I, I don't. It's not that I don't get stickers. I think it totally appeals to people. It doesn't really appeal to me because I I like sort of modern simplicity. I like some degree of minimalism. So I'm not one of those people that wants to put stickers all over my laptop. I never did that. I just like it nice and clean and simple, right? And I've even gone as far as putting like a D brand skin on it to make it even more matte and more simple, right? At least on the outside. No, I don't care about the inside of it. Um, and so that's kind of my aesthetic. And while I support some people and I get stickers all the time, and every time you buy something from LTT, they forcibly make you take stickers. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, it's
You don't
neat, but
have
what do I
to.
do with that? No, they it's sort of like always a part of the checkout. You
No,
if you
you
don't,
can pick one of the things that you want, or nothing. You don't have to.
is there a nothing option? Because I have
Yep.
not seen the
You don't
nothing
have to
option.
add anything that you don't want.
Oh,
I
okay.
think they got
Well then
that
I'll
comment and then made that decision to do
Yeah,
that.
because I'm just like it feels like a waste. I know
Yep.
with the one place where they want to send me every time I get anything, any kind of little merch things for the club, they want to send me their mule sauce, and I'm like, no, I don't want your hot sauce. I don't like hot sauce, but more importantly, I don't want your free hot sauce. Like, and I had to go out of my way to like take it out of the cart.
Hmm.
So, so my point is, I get some people like stickers, and I definitely know there is somebody who makes some um, really like I like her art. Her art is good, and one of her ways that she makes some money is she has sticker packs. She has stickers that you can buy, and I look at that as I know of a person who would appreciate that, and this is going to be part of their gift for the holiday. I'm gonna go through and pick some and put together a big old pack, and that will be part of their gift. But for me, I it's not that I don't get it; it's that I don't have a place for it. So now I have this big sort of sandwich bag full of
Stickers.
stickers that I don't know what to do with, and I
Yeah.
could have just tossed them out, but I've just like I don't know, I don't know.
So, do you want to link that artist?
Meg Mashables.
What
She
do you
has a
call that?
TikTok that's
Can you
pretty
say it
good.
again?
Meg MEG Mashables, I think is her.com. I think is her website. So she is. I mean, she's very entertaining on TikTok, and I think that Meg Mashables is her TikTok, and the video I saw. I don't know how recent it is, but she's like, now that we're in September, I can now do my theme for Halloween, and this time it's Halloweenies. And so she had all these like hot dog characters, and whatever little things she just amuses herself. She always puts a little butt on it. Always has a little butt just to find an opportunity to put, have them like showing their butt or something. So make Mashables, and she's entertaining as hell, and I love watching those videos. And I definitely could see there's a ton of those stickers that a friend of mine for the holiday that I'm going to get them sticker packs of. I'm going to put sticker packs together that are just to appeal to their personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, make Mashables. Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to go to Make Mashables, Polymatic link /16p for that.
Yeah.
And for skirts, where I just bought some artwork from them this morning. That's Polymatic.link /16q. Anyway, book stress over. I did have some other stress, which is my Steam Deck decided to stop working on the GPU. So the GPU was resetting every time I played a game. And I got the new update at the beginning of August. And after that, every single game, just Stardew Valley. I opened Stardew Valley, opened up the community center, and it crashed. And it would just lock up. It would just, the UI for Steam itself locked up, and it would continue playing audio in the background. That would still work. I could still control the character. Just the graphics wouldn't work anymore. And there were other games where it would lock up differently, but it always felt the same, very similar to this thing. So I had it with, at first, before the update, I had it with Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, okay, it's just the game. The game is crashing because it's notorious for being a pretty crashy game. Then I had it in Cyberpunk, which is a not officially supported game, but it's supposed to work-ish. When I opened up the mirror, it would crash the video card, crash the thing. So I was looking through the logs, and I found in the logs GPU reset on every time it crashed, the time it was exactly when it happened when I noticed that issue. And okay, so I realized there was an issue. So then I went Googling for that, and I found a thread on the Steam Communities forum. And there were people who were returning their Steam Decks because that was happening to them. So if you have a Steam Deck that is sometimes hanging in games that it should not in, like, for example, not very demanding games, just where the graphics hangs and the audio keeps playing, or even like where the Steam interface even hangs sometimes. You might want to look into that, because there might be a bigger problem than just the basic. There's 1 or 3 units that have this. I think the thread is like 19 pages by now.
Ooh, that's bad.
That's on the Steam community site, so it's I think like 10 posts per page or something like that. So it's not that big, but there's a bunch of people that have this issue, and not everybody has gone through the entire RMA process, which was also a thing. I think I sent in it took me about a week. No. It's like on Friday the 13th or 14th, I sent in it was the 12th? Anyway, I sent in a message to Steam. Like 2 days later, they basically told me, okay, I know you want to help, but here is the RMA. Go return it, because I was trying to help them debug these situations. So I was like, okay, I'll just. Do you have anything else for me to try to fix it? And I'm like, yeah, just send it back, please. So that's what I did. And then when I got it there, it took like 1 day for it to arrive there, and then it took them like almost 2 weeks for them to acknowledge that it had arrived. That was a very long and stressful period, because I thought, oh, maybe they just decide that they forgot about it. But I got a new one, and it works fine.
Oh, so they sent you a new one?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, at least they
fun fact: if you uh, get your Steam Deck and you hook it up to your account, it will keep reminding you of the benefits that you're gonna get from the Steam Deck. So you have unclaimed rewards for your Steam Deck. Uh, but I've already reclaimed them on the previous one. They keep saying, "Oh well, you can get the rewards for your Steam Deck,"
Mm.
and you can
Is there
dismiss
any
it.
way to turn that stuff off?
You can stop that, but then you can never actually get. I don't know if I got all the rewards for the Steam Deck initially, but then I
Mm.
tried to claim these, and then it said, "Oh, something went wrong," because I already
Right.
have them. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there's a problem with there was a problem with my Steam Deck, and I got it fixed. But like it's still like I would have liked to debug the situation, know what's going on, instead of
Hmm.
them just sending me a new one. It's a little bit
Just
wasteful.
replacing it. Yeah.
Like if there was a bug fix coming, that would have been nice too. I would have been fine with that. But
Was this
apparently it's a hardware issue. So
was it still under warranty?
of course it was less than a month old.
Right. Okay. Got it. So at least they made good on their warranty. That's good.
Yeah, but the warranty in the Europe is a bit longer than the one in the US. Whereas
Yeah. In the
basically, as soon as
U.S.,
it
it's
leaves the shipping, it's out of warranty.
right. So in the U.S., I think for most things, not all things, it's like a default of 90-day warranty. Limited warranty is what they call it.
Hmm.
And uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it used to be warranties used to be longer, but now they just don't. Yeah, you'd be lucky if you get a year. There are some situations where 30 days is the minimum, and that's what people will do. So,
Yep,
yeah.
fun times. So yeah, that was fun. And then I started while I was waiting on my Steam Deck to return. I had to do something, right? So
Hmm.
what I did is I bought a Lego kit from Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the tall neck. Um, it was a really nice build, and I did that on stream on Twitch. And I've been streaming Legos the last couple of weekends on Saturday to post.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a mashup of some creature with I guess the Enterprise from Strange New.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
They
it's
are
interesting.
the sensor platform in the game. Or like there's lots of robots in Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a very nice game, by the way. It's a very very entertaining
Hmm.
game. Uh,
Yeah, I was just looking at it and I was like, "What am I staring at?" And I was
yeah.
like, "Why is there an Enterprise on top of this thing?"
So but I also got a kit for it for the lighting, a lighting
Yeah.
kit, and that's really cool. I love it. It was a lot of work to put the lights in. I think it's an Australian company,
Mm.
Like My Bricks,
Oh,
and
interesting.
but they ship from the Netherlands as well. I think.
Mm. I I one of the things I will likely do, and I have to figure it out, and then I realized Philips Hue has them in smaller strips. Um, I was when I was originally talking to the electrician, I was asking about under cabinet, lighting, and but we never progressed the conversation. So maybe I pay him directly after the fact. But I'm gonna want to put like LED strips underneath the cabinetry in my kitchen, new kitchen, so I get some extra lighting under those spaces. You know,
Mm.
yeah.
So then I also bought a. Then I went online by the time I got my salary, and it was like, okay, I've been wanting to try to do some stuff on stream from my workbench. And I was like,
Hmm.
that Lego build was really nice. There was like 2 or 3 people that showed up on my stream. It was fine, but like I should get another one, right? So maybe get another kit, maybe do some more streaming.
Hmm.
So I got the Ecto one from Lego, the Ghostbusters Ecto one,
Yeah.
which is a very, very, very big box of Legos. And I also got the what's it called? The Lego calls it the Time Machine, but I got the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And I have a
Oh,
light up kit for
interesting.
the DeLorean. There's also a light
Yeah.
up kit for the Ecto One, but it is 150 euros for the light up kit, which is very
Mm-hmm.
expensive. For the DeLorean, it was not as expensive, but it was still pretty steep. It's like 130 bucks, and the Lego kit itself was also very expensive.
Yeah.
But
I
then,
mean, LEDs are amazing. That's why I was sort of on my tangent about wanting to put them underneath the kitchen
oh yeah,
cabinetry.
I was about to
It's
cut
just
that from the recording, but there we
no,
go.
you can still cut that. I mean, you can cut my comment about it. So, um,
That's fine.
yeah, LEDs are amazing,
Yeah,
and
but they're so
the fact that we
tiny.
could
They're
do
super
so much
tiny.
with them. Yeah, we can do so much with them is amazing, and they're low powered is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of finicky wires that you have to run through, like underneath bricks, and like it just fits. And yeah, I was already looking into like maybe I should just take out the Dremel and Dremel out a little bit of the Lego so I can run the wire through it more easily. Even with the tall neck, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe get a little bit of we'll get a drill and run the wire through. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Modify the Lego just to run a wire through. But I got the I got the Ecto One, I got the DeLorean, the time machine, and it has like three versions of the time machine, so you can do like the first, second, third movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so I went to into the city yesterday morning, and I walked past the store that I've never been into, which is called the Lego store. We have a
Oh yeah,
Lego store.
they have one
So I
in our
walked
mall
in and I
here.
was like, okay, I'll just go go check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had some pretty nice Legos there. And I was like, okay, okay. Then I saw the Apollo set. It's the creators Apollo set.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that one. I was like, yeah.
There
He
is
was like, he was like, are you building it yourself or is it a gift? I was like, I'm building it myself. I'm building it on stream. Oh, have you seen our YouTube channel? Blah blah blah.
yeah.
Okay.
There is one person on TikTok that I follow, and she's a big fan of Star Wars, but she's also a big fan of Lego. And there's just like a moment where you see her excited to open up a box, and then you just see her sort of just like, like someone does with fine wine. They take a sniff and they breathe it in, and she's like breathing in the box, and she's so excited. And that's it. That's the talk.
There's a lot of
Um,
people on Twitch that are doing Legos. There's a bunch of them.
mhm. There's a streamer that I sort of on my follow list, but I never really spend time sort of chilling out with them. But that's it. The whole thing is they just go and they make Legos, and that's what they
Yeah,
stream online, and they chill and they hang out with people as they make Legos, and
it's a
they have
brick
a
building.
reasonably large following.
Brick building is the
Yeah.
tag, but there's a makers and crafts
Mm-hmm.
uh, thing. But
I
maybe they should have another category for just for Legos. That would be really nice.
they well, I guess they do have one for crafts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Someone I
where all the people are with
mhm.
Legos.
One of the people that I support with a sub, she doesn't do it on a regular basis because you don't really need to. She was just sort of she does gunpla. That's her
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And
This is actually
and
what
so
set off the thing with the
right
Legos and stuff.
and so she would just and she works for Twitch actually. She's staff. Um, but so she would just was just sitting there chilling and hanging out and then making working on stuff. And she's been doing sort of a kit bash, where she's always looking for different kind of style of Ganons from um, Zelda. Sorry, it took me a moment to get there in my head. And she's been sort of turning them into mechs and stuff like that. So she works on it, and she just picks her time, and she's just working on it, and then she's talking and chilling and hanging out. And she popped on this week, and sometimes it's random hangout, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's a combination of stuff. I had a model kit that it was I guess I kind of technically won. And it was a really nice Eva model kit, and I like never gonna build it. I know me, I will never get around to it. And it's one of those that if you were to buy it new, not um, you know, uh, like price gouge from somebody at a dealer's room, it's like a $300-400
Yeah,
powder
yeah, yeah.
coated,
I was
Eva kit.
Yeah, I was looking at because somebody was on Picardo was streaming. I think maybe we even talked about this last time,
Mm.
but uh, there was this streamer there that was doing Gunpla. I
Hmm.
was like, this is something that I could do with with Legos. I'll just do it with Legos first.
Got it. So my larger point of talking about that particular kit is I just like, hey, I have this. I'm never going to build it because I know me. I don't have the skills or the time. Um, do you want me to send it to you? And she's like, hell yeah. And I provided a link for her to look, and she's like, oh my God, yes, please. And so I sent it to her, and she's like, what do you want for it? It's like, nothing. You're taking it off my hands, and it goes to a good place. And you can see in her background, she's got like a stack of kits, in her room for all this
Yeah.
stuff. So that's like a person that I follow and support, and that's interesting. And it's funny. It's not so much. Sometimes it's like watching someone play the game, and you learn by that, then inspires you to go play the game. But
Mm.
in the same respect, it's also like you're chilling with friends. You're just not doing it in the same room.
Yeah, yesterday was a stream, and then somebody showed up who also builds Legos on Twitch, and I was like, yeah, it's really cool seeing people there,
Hmm.
talking about it, uh, just having a conversation. Some other people that I actually know in real life showed up as well, so it was actually kind of cool. And
Yeah,
I'm just doing it like 2 hours a day. Like I
and
cannot do it longer than that. I tried to do that with the tall neck. I spent like 6 hours building that thing. I was
hmm,
beat by the end of the day. Actually,
yeah.
I did like I think I maybe did 4 hours the day before, and then 2 hours the next day to finish it up and put in the lights. My back was shot for like the
Oh,
entire
because
rest of
you're
that week. I
were you
bent
sitting on
over
the
to pick up a
floor?
little piece that fell off. I was like,
Yeah,
oh crap, it fell. So I have to pick it up, and
stiff.
it was
Yeah.
this was in the time when it was like 30 C in the Netherlands, and I was like, okay, that hurt. My back just, and then by the end of that Friday evening, my it hurt so much that at the end of the stream, I was like, okay, gonna go now, gonna be not here. So at least I was smart enough to record it because it doesn't automatically save to Twitch. I could have like taken out the VOD, but it doesn't automatically save. So I
Hmm.
turned that on afterwards for the new kit, but I haven't done that for the first one. I only found out afterward the fact because I've been recording. Been having some issues with like the EOS webcam tool.
Hmm.
Um, for some reason, because of the heat, the camera was turning itself off. Whoops.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the problem with those cannons is that they overheat. Um, I've had that. I've had good management with my A6400.
But it doesn't happen like in winter or like even in spring. It doesn't happen. But as soon as like the ambient temperature goes over 26, it's like poof.
Hmm.
And it just shut down, and then it restarted and it shut down again. I was like, oh crap. Luckily,
Yeah.
I had this camera here. I have that one. So I will probably be getting a new camera overhead camera for my workbench because I want to use this one for my video game stuff. I'm thinking maybe getting one of those Sony AS something or other, getting a body and then getting some, you know, lens converter stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe getting another Canon, but like a system camera.
I
Uh,
mean, if you have multiple lenses, then I recommend. So at the time that I did it, and they came down immediately after I bought it, of course, and it was too late. Um, I had gotten the Sigma
yeah,
one for the Sony mount, to go from the E to the EF, and I haven't updated the thing, but I just literally leave my $600 Sigma lens on that thing connected, and it's been fine. And anytime I've ever had to put any other lens on it, it's been fine too. So Yeah, and look, if you're gonna want a zoom lens in those cases,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna want to
Because
do a
that's the
prime.
problem with like the
So,
webcam. I cannot zoom on it, which is
and if you have good lighting, you can get inexpensive kit lenses, right? And you can just supplement it with the lighting. In the cases where the f-stop is not low enough. Um, so
I
you
have
could
okay
sort yourself out.
lenses, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a couple of more specialized things that I would like to keep, and I just think that the cooling on the ES 600
Mm-hmm.
EOS T3i, I think it's the name of that thing. I've had that thing for years.
Yeah.
I think I bought it like in
Um, I have the
2008.
T2i, so I think yours is like, unless you bought another one,
I bought
yours
two.
was. Oh, okay, got it. So you must have bought. What interesting part of this was that my T2i was always way more reliable. Still not, and my roommate had his T3i, and I tried to, I asked him if I could use it. He's like, yeah, because it was just literally sitting there unused.
I think
And
the
what
600D is the T3i.
Yeah, and so I used his a couple times, and it would just be the failure rate on it was high for me, so I never used it. I just gave it back to him. Obviously I used his one particular lens because he wasn't doing anything with it. He got it like on discount or something on Woot.com or something when they were trying to get rid of them to replace them with a 4i or whatever it was that was coming. I don't even know where they are now with them. Um, and my A6400 has been perfect for my uses, but my uses have been very limited. And that combined with some other hardware has been great, and it's a good webcam with very expensive hardware supplementing it to make it a good webcam,
Well,
which is
you
really
use
meant for
the
streaming
HDMI
too.
out, right?
Yeah, I'm doing HDMI out, and I run it through. I'm not running it through the Atomos because I don't have that in my loop anymore, at least at my desk. And that goes right into the ATEM, and then that goes right out from there into the desktop.
Yeah, but what I want to do is get the get a camera that will actually work with the HDMI out, because there is an HDMI out on the Sony on the Canon,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem is it also includes all the
Display, yeah.
yeah display
So
stuff, and it's so annoying. There's no way to turn it off.
so Sony has two video banks for it. They have one that is meant for the out and one that is meant for on screen. So what ends up happening is if you are recording on your camera and you put it in the right display mode, I think you lose all of the overlays on the, at least on the. I think they corrected this in the A6600 and higher, and anything obviously in the new Alpha series.
I
You
think
know,
most
with
of the new Canons also have like they just turn it. You can turn it off, and like with
hmm
this one, I just can't turn it off.
Yeah, I can control it a little bit. Is my point, and it's 10-bit out versus the 8-bit that it's recording in. So I can get that to, in the case of the documentary, I can get that into the Atomos Ninja and record 10-bit in. So
I remember having an Atomos. I had one of those. I had a for playing videos.
hmm
It was pretty cool.
yeah,
But
I mean I love it when I use it, but I only use it when I'm doing the film stuff. I wouldn't use it
it
anywhere
was
else.
just for video playback, so it wasn't for like storing video.
Oh right, yeah. This isn't
This is
modern.
like
Mine was a hardware recorder.
2006 ish.
I
So
also bought, but I didn't put it to real use yet. I bought they had like a connector for that allowed me to do basically a portable version of the ATEM, but with the Atomos. And I think at this point they probably should have some bunch of feature updates. I should check the firmware on it. But I can latch it on the back of it to the special connector, and what I can do is I can use the Atomos Ninja not only as a recorder but also as a live switcher
mm.
and for streaming purposes, right? So I got it just in case, like the optionality of it. It wasn't that expensive at the time, but you have to do it in with the other hardware. So
Anyway, if you want to find my first foray into Lego streaming, Polymatic link /167. for that.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the fun stuff, unless you have anything else to discuss.
No, I don't think so. I think we've been talking for a while.
Okay.
All right, so if we're going down to the fun stuff, so I don't know how true this is, but I'm wishing for it, and I hope it comes to America, or at least Canada, where it can get to North America. So this was I found the Twitter, but it's the same guy on TikTok, so this is the one TikTok. Stargate is about to be reactivated, and it was
I think it was a cosplay thing.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Polymatic.link/16F. But that sort of, I want to look at it in the rumor mill is that I think Amazon is going to buy or is making the effort to try to buy MGM, which has a license for Stargate, which means that potential idea, the hope is that there might be a reboot, might be an interest for a reboot there.
Oh no. I don't know if the fans are gonna like that.
Well, look, reboot maybe continuation of, because there were like shots of the what was I already forgot his name, the guy who replaced Colonel O'Neill, and the other guy from
Ben
Shepard.
Bowder?
Yeah, that's the actor's name, but his real name, but I
Colonel
can't
Mitchell.
think of it. Mitchell and Shepard. We're like standing in front of the gate room.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be. Look, I mean, I think they didn't do a great job with all of the new Star Trek, but they've done some pretty good job in terms of reboots or creating spin-offs and stuff like that. Picard, I don't mind it, but I don't think they did a amazing job with that.
So
Discovery, it's like 50-50. I think they're on the positive 50% now. And then I want to say Strange New Worlds. Is Brave New Worlds? Is that I always want to screw it up.
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds. They're doing a fantastic job there.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, I don't know. Reboots can be a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing or continuations, depending on the context of that. So anyhow, that was polymatic.link/16F if you're interested in seeing that.
I'm just very interested in watching the continuation of Stargate Universe. I would like to see more.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I follow David Ballou.
Yeah, me too.
Who was on... I guess I primarily just follow him on TikTok at this point.
Okay.
So I see stuff all the time, and he doesn't look like Eli anymore. Really, I mean, that's stupid to say, but he's not.
Yeah, he's gotten
he's
into
a whole
shape.
different. He's gotten into shape, and he's moved on, obviously, and he would be the first to know, and he'd probably be the first to. They probably would take advantage of what he's built up there to and make announcements if there was something there.
Yeah. But he still makes Stargate jokes on Twitter, so.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I got two links. This is just because it came up recently. I think I may have linked these before. Rip and tear until it's done. Polymatic link/168 and Polymatic link/169. They're basically the funny Animal Crossing with Doom on stuff. I think I shared these around April 2020.
I don't know if I saw the channel looked familiar, but I don't know if the particular music video seemed familiar. Maybe the supplementary one might have been.
Yeah. Anyway, it was just Doom and Animal Crossing. They don't seem to match up, but in the end,
yeah,
they came out at the same time.
Yeah. So this person, this guy goes by. His name is Mike. He goes by Props to History. He's a prop maker. He went from fan to professional, and so he had a TikTok for this, and then he sort of done more longer format ones. And one of the first ones that was in this sort of I don't want to say season, but whatever particular thing is doing now in these longer formats is he talks about Earl Hayes Press. And what does that mean in terms of prop making? and I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to share it. Polymatic.link/16h. This goes to his YouTube.
Yeah, and it's just important to say that it was really interesting. Even like it has like stuff from like a lot of things you might have seen in the background or like in places in movies, and it was
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's his channel's interesting, but you got to be up for long format in case of his YouTube. He used to do these like in 3 minutes right on TikTok, but I think he should have gotten frustrated with them, so he's just really not making as much of a newer effort to spend time in TikTok. But you go to his TikTok and look at some of his older stuff. It's all very good.
Anyway, it was Polymatic/16h.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, got some music. It's Dutch. Mo and Raccoon, Dansman Ogen Dicht, which is Dutch song. Polymatic/16a for that.
Yeah. So this one I came across. I don't even know how actually tightly integrated it is to Jay Leno's, but it was on YouTube and it was a long video,
Yep.
and I thought it was interesting. So polymatic.link/16o electric cars were one of the options way back in the turn of last century, and so I thought it was interesting to for him to kind of go through that. It's a little bit of a longer, video, but again, thought it was interesting if you're curious about what the thought was a long time ago in the beginning, early time frame of building automobiles in general.
Okay. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll rattle off these links in quick succession because they're all related. Um, Röyksopp is a band that I follow. It's two guys from Norway, and they have a new. This year they come out with two new albums, and they're working on number three to finish that one up. It's like maybe it's like one big album eventually. They all have the same title. Anyway, Polymatic link/16e for Profound Mysteries number one, 16D for Profound Mysteries number two, which is both full albums, and then there's two tracks from the new album, Polymatic link/16b and Polymatic link/16c for Speed King and The Night, which is two new tracks from their new album. And it's like really cool that they're doing new art, new albums, and that's yeah, I'm looking forward to number three.
Yeah.
Finally, some new music from these guys.
So okay. So this first one, this is an artist that I saw. So I follow. Scary Pockets is one of the channels that I follow. They kind of take songs and do funk covers of them. I just sort of like that. It's kind of neat. And they did have a feature with this individual artist, Stacey Ryan. I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. And so I sort of had some exposure to who she was. And then she did something that went viral on TikTok. And I kind of like her music. I haven't bought the album yet, but I'm it's sort of in my list of to catch up with certain artists. I'm gonna buy whatever she has available. So this first video, the song's called Deep End. Again, I like the energy. I like the groove on it. I don't really care about the music video. That has zero interest to me. But this isn't the song that made her viral. Polymatic.link/16J for Deep End. This is another guy that I follow. He just, again, kind of came through TikTok, kind of did some stuff that was viral. Polymatic.link/16K. This is one of the newer things, I guess. So we're in a world of singles now. Very few albums are coming out from, a lot of new artists, or at least non-humongous, stars, superstars, celebrity level artists they don't make only those artists make albums. Everyone else does this waterfall thing where they make a bazillion freaking singles, which I hate because I just want to like buy a thing and not buy 18 different things over the course of 3 years. That part just frustrates me. But regardless, Nick D, I like some of his other stuff. He's sort of like a chill, I wouldn't say spoken word, but kind of groove. And his TikTok virality was he would basically pull his laptop, put it somewhere put his headphones on with a microphone, and we get to experience the whole assembly of everything because that's what he's recording. But the people in the real world just see this guy singing or talking, rapping into his microphone with his laptop, so they have no idea what's going on. So that's sort of what he would do. Is you just show up in the middle of like a mall food court, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, let me just put this right here," and then he would just do his song, and then and so he's now known for that because then you see people are freaking out where they're taking video of him doing his thing. So anyhow, so that was Nick D with Suit. Polymatic.links/16k. And then Dodie I follow, I like, and she's been doing this, I guess she did it mostly through August, where she's been doing mostly songs that she's just continuing to make, but are not necessarily decided whether they're going to go into an album or not. I think this was on the most recent album release, Hot Mess. And so this is just a lyric video, though even though she's got motion and stuff in it, but polymatic.links/16l.
Isn't
And
it? It
then
was a video of it was a music video.
it was like a music video, but I think it's got a description of a lyric, or maybe I didn't do the lyric video. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it was the where she walks towards the camera.
Yeah. And then
It was good. It was a good one. I like this one. Yeah.
I like Dodie. She's just a very rare artist. She is who she is, and she doesn't produce formulaic things. It's formulaic to her in her brain, but what she does and is unique to her. It's more instruments than machine, for her. So that's what I like about her, and it's hard to explain who she is. Authentic is probably a descriptor I would give. So, and then the last artist, one that I really like, and she's literally pop, and everything is about sort of how she processes the world. And I Don't Even Like You Anymore is a song about an ex, and how she's processing that past relationship. Polymatic.links/16m. And she reigns strong on my interest of every time I hear a song from her, it's like, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Oh, I totally get the message. Yeah. There's I don't know if this is the song. I think this is the song. She makes some kind of comment about that she ran into an ex, which is, I think, a true story. She ran into an ex, and she saw that her ex has a new, or basically his new girlfriend is wearing her clothes that he took from her.
That's what they call in the business a douche move.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't even like you anymore. It's like, so why am I spending my emotional energy on you? Basically, it's sort of the message in the song. So I like her stuff. It's really good.
Okay, so Alan, where can they find you?
On the internet, or here.
Okay, Polymatic.link/Alan for that. Why do I even ask? You can find me. You can find me on Polymatic.link/John for that. For feedback, you can reach us at podcast@Polymatic.media. Our Twitter is the Polymatic. Our website is Polymatic.media. And I hope you tune in next time.